Imagine this. You're standing in front of a mirror, looking yourself dead in the eyes. You've just made a promise. Maybe it's to hit the gym, quit a bad habit, or start that side hustle you've been dreaming about. In that moment, you feel powerful. But then the next morning comes, and instead of lacing up your sneakers or getting to work, you hit snooze. The promise is broken, and a little piece of trust you had in yourself is chipped away. We've all been there, right? You might shrug it off, thinking it doesn't matter, but here's the truth. Those broken promises accumulate. They erode your confidence and make it harder to take on bigger challenges. What if I told you that keeping those small promises could change your life? Before we get started, what's up? My name's Nick Jackson, and my channel is all about giving you insights into philosophy, psychology, conspiracy, and spirituality. If any of those topics light a fire in your mind, hit that subscribe button and like this video. It helps me grow and keeps these conversations alive. Also, if you have any thoughts on anything I talk about today, drop a comment below and let's start a dialogue. Let's start with something simple but profound. If you make a promise to yourself, keep it. Think about how much weight we give to promises made by others. When someone lets you down, it hurts. Now flip that. When you let yourself down, it cuts even deeper, whether you realize it or not. That's why keeping even the smallest promises is the first step to building trust in yourself. Discipline isn't just about willpower, it's about creating a track record of success within yourself. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, said every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. If you want to be someone who can tackle big goals, start with small victories. Keep that promise to wake up early, finish a task, or show up for yourself. Over time, these small wins compound. Now let's talk about freedom. Real freedom doesn't come from avoiding embarrassment, it comes from embracing it. Think about the people you admire most. Are they afraid of looking stupid? No. They take risks, fail publicly, and grow from it. That's how they earn their confidence. Here's a personal story. When I started creating content, I hated how I sounded on camera. I cringed at every little mistake, but I keep going. Each video gets a little better, and eventually throughout the process, I've stopped caring what people think. I realized that their judgment doesn't define me, my actions do. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, you wouldn't worry so much about what others think if you realized how seldom they do. If you can learn to embarrass yourself and not care, you'll discover a level of freedom that most people never reach. You'll stop being paralyzed by fear or judgment, and you'll start living life on your terms. Here's something you might not realize. Everyone has the ability to be disciplined. Look at a gamer who plays for hours on end, perfecting their craft, or a bodybuilder who spends every day in the gym, or a writer who pours their thoughts onto the page for hours. Discipline isn't reserved for the elite. It's already in you. The difference lies in how you channel it. A gamer can become a professional esports player or streamer. A gym enthusiast can transform into an elite fitness coach. A writer can publish books that change lives. It's all about framing your habits around your goals. Tony Robbins once said, "Where focus goes, energy flows." If you're spending hours doing something, ask yourself, is this aligned with what I truly want? If the answer is yes, double down. If not, it's time to release it and reassess. Let's dive deeper into framing. Everything in life can be seen as good or bad depending on your perspective. Take hard work, for example. Some people see it as a burden, others see it as a privilege. A workaholic might seem obsessed to one person, but to another, they're just deeply passionate about their craft. It's the same with challenges. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacles you face aren't roadblocks, they're stepping stones. They're opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. One of the most common excuses people make is, "I don't have time." But let's be real, time isn't the issue, priorities are. If you can binge watch a show, you can work on your goals. If you can scroll social media for hours, you can read a book or learn a skill. Studies show that the average person spends about 2 hours and 31 minutes on social media daily. Imagine what you could achieve if you directed just half of that time to something meaningful. As Benjamin Franklin said, "You may delay, but time will not." Start treating your time like the precious resource it is, and watch your life transform. Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." So who's in your circle? Are they lifting you up or holding you back? It might sound harsh, but sometimes you need to distance yourself from negativity, even if it's coming from people you care about. Surround yourself with those who inspire you, challenge you, and support your growth. If you can't find them right away, spend time alone. Get to know yourself, build your foundation so that when the right people come along, you're ready for them. Let me share a story from my own life. A few years ago, I decided to give public speaking a shot. I was terrified, but I thought, how bad could it be? Well, the answer was pretty bad. My voice cracked, my hands shook, and at one point I completely forgot what I was supposed to say. I could feel the audience's awkwardness radiating back at me. Afterward, I wanted to crawl back into a hole and never come out. But instead of giving up, I forced myself to reflect. Why did I freeze up? What could I do differently next time? I realized I needed to embrace the fear and not fight it. I started practicing in front of friends and recording myself on video. Over time, I got better, not perfect, but better. The key here, I didn't let the embarrassment stop me, I turned it into fuel. As Winston Churchill once said, "Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm." That one awkward moment taught me resilience and the power of facing fears head on. Here's another story, and it's one of my favorites. I was on a flight sitting next to an older man who looked like he had some serious life experience. We got to talking, and he told me about his journey from being homeless to running a successful business. I asked him, what was the turning point for you? He said, "The day I realized no one was coming to save me. I was sitting on a park bench feeling sorry for myself, and it hit me. If I didn't change my life, no one else would." That conversation stuck with me because I also had spent time in the exact same situation. It reminded me of something Viktor Frankl wrote in A Man's Search for Meaning. When we are no longer able to change the situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. No matter where you are in life, the power to change starts with you. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's also incredibly liberating. Let's step into a more spiritual realm for a moment. There is a famous Zen parable about a monk and a teacup. A young man visited a wise monk seeking enlightenment. As the monk poured the tea into the man's cup, he didn't stop when the cup was full. The tea spilled over the edges, but the monk kept pouring. The young man finally said, "Stop, the cup is full." The monk replied, "Exactly. You are like this cup, so full of your own opinions and judgments that nothing new can enter. To find peace, you must first empty your cup." This story has always resonated with me because it's a reminder to approach life with humility and curiosity. How often do we let our egos block us from growth? If you're holding on to old beliefs or fears, maybe it's time to empty your cup and make space for something new. At the end of the day, life isn't about being perfect, it's about progress. It's about keeping those promises to yourself, embracing failure, and reframing the way you see challenges. It's about taking the discipline you already have and using it to build a life you're proud of. So here's my challenge to you. Make one promise to yourself today, start small, keep it, and then do it again tomorrow. Over time, you'll build a level of trust and confidence that will carry you through anything life throws your way. As always, thanks for watching. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights on philosophy, psychology, conspiracy, and spirituality. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.